ZineMonth 2024 is here, so let's go ahead and check out one of the options that you might want to support this year. You wake on the shores of a river. Try as you might, you can't remember anything but your name. That is how the promotion of Lethe, a new Zine on crowdfunder from Chris Legge of Lumberwood Studio, begins, and I will admit it grabbed me right from the very beginning. You and up to 5 other players will find yourself, by default, in a heavily forested land with no memory of who you were. Instead, you slowly discover who you were by participating in the game's world, things and events around you triggering memories that your GM provides, little glimpses into who you once were. Mechanically, this is done by having the GM create the character ahead of time based on a questionnaire that the player has filled out, providing essentially the archetype or the vibes for the character. The character's stats and abilities instead are populated onto the player's character sheet by acting out in the world and finding what exactly they're good at through trial and error. Likewise, when your character reaches a milestone, it will trigger one of 5 memories from their past. You can choose to accept this as part of your former self and improve attributes or buy new skills, just like leveling up. Should you choose to reject it, however, your player will instead get to alter some aspect of the existing character. This represents turning their back on who they once were. Other elements of Lethe are designed to minimize the potential for mechanics to interfere or cover up the actual story elements of the exploration. Dice mechanics are simple, rolling 1 or more 6-sided dice based on the character's attributes and skills. Rolling a 5 or a 6 on any of these dice is a success, with harder actions requiring additional successes and potential modifications from special abilities. Players can also choose to take damage to their health to make up the difference if they miss a roll. This therefore allows any roll to essentially be a success with consequence, so long as the player can and is willing to pay the price. For a GM, Lethe also provides a significant amount of advice and also a basic framework to set up exploration encounters that can link to the memories your character will potentially be triggering. Players are also the only ones who normally need to roll, so you do not need to worry about NPC stats as the GM, only the difficulty of the player's actions and, of course, the incorporating the elements of the memories into the story. As I mentioned before, Lethe is a game that is being hosted on the crowdfunder platform. It has passed its funding mark and first stretch goal as of the time of this recording. Future stretch goals will recruit outside authors Armand de Halder, Logan Timmins, Laura Johnson, and Brent Jans to create new settings, like a cyberpunk world where you've lost your memory, as opposed to relying on the sort of afterlife river Mosephanes elements that the current game world possesses. Lethe will continue to fund on crowdfunder until about March 1st or 2nd, depending upon your time zone. So be sure to check out the link below if you found this interesting. I definitely recommend that you at least give it a look. This is definitely a refreshing change of pace, potentially, for many groups where the specifics of your character's story is taken a bit out of your hands as a player, and allows you to instead explore your character, as we mentioned, through play, instead of having to kind of conceptualize and set in stone your idea of your character beforehand. So thank you all for joining us again here today at that look at a game that is currently up for ZineQuest or ZineMonth of 2024. Remember, support any way you can. Don't feel like that you have to potentially purchase the game. Just sharing on social media or talking about it with your friends or other various things. That all of those can really help, especially with the smaller the smaller zines that are being put out by indie publishers or self-published. Just those sorts of little things definitely help a lot. Because again, a lot of these goals aren't that big, but if they manage to push a bit past that, that can really help kick off a career. Thank you all for joining us today and for supporting Hudson's County. And don't forget to support these great creators.